Assalamu alaikum and good morning, everyone. Welcome to the third Pharmacy Career Conference. I hope you will be enjoying it for the next 2 days. I was very happy by my team was informing me this morning that we have more than 425 participants this year. And I'm glad that you are here. I would like to congratulate all the pharmacy students and pharmacy people who have, okay, I got it, Madre, 450. She's telling me we are 450 now. And I want to congratulate all the pharmacy students for having this such kind of doctors from their colleges and university that are supporting them to the maximum. As you all know, Pharma Career Conference is a knowledge contribution from PRA and pharmacy colleges for the pharmacy students and the fresh graduate and the pharmacists in the UAE or even Gulf, since we are virtual this year. So a big thank for Dubai Pharmacy College, Al Ain University, Gulf Medical University, Higher College of Technology, Ajman University, and this year we have from Syria, Arab International University. I'm very happy to have them all and their support with their speakers. And of course, without the speakers from these colleges, we will not be able to do it alone. I would like also to thank all our speakers from the industry. You will be meeting them. Please network, grab their contacts, add them on LinkedIn, try to get a network with everyone you know. We have a lot of success stories for the last 2 years, and make this year is more with the success stories as we have more people contributing. Also, I would like to thank a big thank for our knowledge partner, IVPN Network, and our educational partner, Educational Zone. Thank you very much for supporting the PharmaCC Pharma Career Conference. And now with this, I would like, before introducing Samia, I would like also to thank my team, Madre and her team. They did a great job with organizing all this. And now our first speaker is Samia Kanawati. She is a dear friend. You will meet her. Please try to communicate with her and speak to her. She will get you a lot of knowledge. Samia Kanawati is an experienced and highly respected communication professional in the region that brings with her more than 15 years diversified experience in communication, public affairs, and regulatory in many therapy areas such as rare diseases, HIV, oncology, respiratory, eye care, and medical aesthetic, among the others. She oversees 40 countries from EMEA as a part of her remit in the leading Allergan aesthetic and AbbVie company, internal and external communication efforts across several practice, including public affairs, social and digital communication, public relations, patient advocacy group relationship, as well as crisis communication, dealing with a wide range of stakeholders such as health authorities, medical societies, and associations. What distinguishes Samia is her entrepreneurial mindset and dynamic approach, not only in her daily task, but also in her personal life. When she is not wearing her communicator hat, Samia is passionate about powering women to play active roles in their communities and love to join gala events and a part of a public awareness initiatives. Prior joining Allergan, Samia runs a regulatory and communication function in Shire, Middle East. Samia was graduated from Jordan University with a degree of pharmacy. She holds executive MBA from Brantford University School of Management in United Kingdom, as well as a diploma of biopharmacy from Martin Luther University of Halle-Wittenberg, Germany. She is fluent English and Arabic and French. She has a lot of achievement, but I can say that she had helped all the places that she were connected to and work with a lot of awards. Welcome Samia, صباح الخير.
يا صباح النور Mona. Thank you.
صباحك. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the nice and kind introduction, and I'm so glad to join all of you from Paris today. Today I'm from Paris. I'm joining from Paris. So bonjour everyone. Good morning, sabah al khair from all the places that you are joining. I'm really Mona privileged to be with you for the second time, to witness another batch of students that will be graduating. They are the students and the future of the pharmacy. And I always look forward to be in these kind of forums, because these forums inspires me a lot, because the new generation is the new blood, and this new blood will come with creativity. And because of you guys who are joining us today, we are always inspired, and we want to do more in order to raise the bar. Because the way that we have taught during our times, 20 years back for myself when I was a student in the pharmacy, it's definitely different. And you guys are bringing different perspective to all of the things. So that's why, being in front of you will make me so humble, and looking forward to exchange this knowledge. And I hope that it will be of benefit to all of you. So just few words about Mona and her team. Mona is not only a friend, she's an inspiring friend. And when she started her career from, having a very small project in order and reaching where she reached today, is something that we are all proud of. Not only because she is a Syrian woman in leadership, but because she's representing a true entrepreneur. When a woman started to think out of the box and build a very strong team and to establish a reputable organization, PRA is where it is because of you and your team. We are super proud of that, Mona. Thank you for all the organizers. Thank you for all the universities that are joining, all the partners. Being Syrian, I am so privileged to be today in front of the Arab International University with all the students. Hugs and kisses, guys, from Paris. I look forward to also join you and to meet with you and connect with all of you along with other universities. So as Mona mentioned, I held several leadership positions in my career. And recently now I joined MSD. It was not updated in my bio. So I am now heading the patient advocacy and the communication, external affairs and public affairs for Merck Sharp and Dome, and I'm managing now the GCC. 6 countries, very diversified, very evolving when it comes to policy and regulatory. And that's why I decided to bring another perspective, what a pharmacist can do, aside of the regulatory, aside of the quality, aside of the pharmacovigilance, the medical, all of the things that you guys heard about previously. What can pharmacists do in the corporate? So being a public affairs person, this is something new, I believe, for all of you. And that's why I decided to have something, that you might benefit from, you might inspire from. It's and speaking about the public-private partnership and how we can shape policy. So please, if you guys in the back, can you please share my screen and the presentation so I can take them through the presentation. So the triple P. The triple P is the terminology that we use when we want to establish an MOU, a memorandum of understanding, or an agreement between the public sector and the private sector. And it is called PPP, and this means that the public-private partnership. You can see public-private partnership not only in the pharma sector, not only in the healthcare sector, but you can see public-private partnership in many other industries, such as telecommunications, such as FMCG, such as, cosmetic, you name it. So this is the thing that we want to leverage from, we want to establish, we want to take to the next level, in order to provide solutions for patient and for unmet needs. And that's why we accompany the public-private partnership with patient advocacy. So by definition, what is the triple P? Triple P is a generic term for a relationship that is formed between the private sector and public bodies. And when I mean a private sector, means the corporate, the companies such as MSD, Pfizer, GSK, you name it, in the healthcare sector. And when we mean public bodies, it means Ministry of Health, health authorities, associations, society. This is the public sector. And this PPP is often to aim introducing a private sector resources and expertise in order to help provide and deliver public sector assets and service. So we share a common mission between the public and private sector, but what can the private sector offer? We can offer a great resources, which means that we have people who are experienced in something and we want to provide this expertise to the government sector, or we want to provide this technology to the government sector. And that's why we focus on sharing resources when it comes to the public-private partnership. Now, in terms of the benefits of the public-private partnership, because many of you might say, okay, we did a partnership. What is the benefit of the partnership? Benefit of the partnership is huge. So it can be like promoting the infrastructure and the development of the government. For example, if the government has, an infrastructure that needs to be developed, we can support in that. It can increase the technical technologies and IT aspects. We have the system in place and the government, they don't have it. We can offer the systems and the IT in place. We can provide a service-driven mindset, because we can tell them how the customer should look like and how we can segment the customer. We can build a corporate growth mindset, which means that how we are taking, this partnership from this level to another level. And also, we need not to forget the risk assessment, because any organization might face a risk during, its process running and operating. So having a risk assessment in place when we do a partnership is something that it's really important. And by listening to the public sector and listening to their, challenges, we can provide also solution from the private sector. And definitely something that is so dear to my heart, since everybody who knows me, they say that you are very innovative. We can provide innovative strategies and solutions, and we make sure that the customer is happy. So it's a collaboration between two entities, private, public, to deliver a benefit to the audience. And when we speak about the audience here, we speak about the consumer, we speak about the patient, we speak about the society, we speak about the community. So it's something easy. Next slide, please, Madre. So for the next one, like any partnership, we can have advantages, and I don't want to call it disadvantages, but we call it risk. Why we're calling it risk? Because it's something that it will be flagged by so many means, and we need to have a mitigation plan in order to overcome this risk. So this does not mean that if we have a risk, we will not go for a partnership. If we have a risk, we will definitely go to the partnership, but we make sure that we are calculating the risks. So I will take you through the advantages. So the advantages of, the public-private partnership. So if the public, for example, they have a small, project and they want to invest, and the private can support. So this is, a dual effect. We can have also a bigger possibility of investment. We can save the budget because we are collaborating the sources and we are sharing the sources. We can transfer the technology. We can, we can have a better competition in the market. So all of these things, because when you increase the competition, the innovation will become bigger. We want people to compete with each other, because this is what will drive the diversity and creativity and better solutions. So all of these things are the advantages, and definitely we speak about transparency in the economy when we speak about the advantages, because these kind of partnerships are going to be visible to everybody, are going to reach all the patients and consumer, and that's why we increase, the transparency. Now, moving to the risks that I told you about. So there might be a risk about, the limitation of the influence. And when we say here, maybe when we come with a new idea from a private sector and we want to go to the public and tell them about an idea, we might face a rejection, or they might say, okay, no, this will not work. So we need to bear in mind that we need to educate the public sector in order to take them through the benefits and to show them their win, because at the end of the day, it's a win-win thing. And then we also need to, to have to reduce the high transactional cost. So for example, if something, I'll take you through an example in a bit after this slide, so it will be easier for you to digest it. So to have high transaction cost, poor quality of the service, if the quality of the service is not up to the expectation of the consumer, then we need to highlight and increase this quality of service. We need to have an accessibility to the service, and this is the role of the pharmacy here, because we have the product in the market. For example, speaking about cancer products, the cancer products are in the market. We have everything in the market, but you might not have the accessibility to this product of the patient, or the insurance company might not have the budget to all patients, because the patient might be segmented according to their profile with the insurance company because of the way that they are paying to the insurance company. So this is the role of exactly the policymakers and the public-private partnership when they are pharmacists, is to provide accessibility to this medication to patients that they are less fortunate. And the way to do that is through the public-private partnership. And definitely, to have, all of these solutions, unmet need and solutions for patients. Let me take you through an example because it might be easier for you. Please, Madra, next slide. So the example that I wanted to share here, MSD is the company that I work for right now, signed a memorandum of understanding with the UAE Ministry of Health in last May, in a program called Day1. And for people who knows Arabic, Day1 means support. And why the program is named Day1 is because it's providing support to cancer patients who are less fortunate and who doesn't have, the accessibility to the medication. So the Ministry of Health and MSD came together and they signed an MOU, and then there will be a criteria for the patients who are eligible to come and to subscribe on this program, and they can provide their cancer treatment for free in the United Arab Emirates, in order to make sure that they have the accessibility to this important medication. This is a very nice example of a public-private partnership that a pharmacist can do in order to make sure that the medication is accessible to the patient. I will share with you some references at the end through the organizers, some links if you want to go more and read more about this kind of partnership. And please don't hesitate to come back to me if you have any questions about that. So this is for the first subject that I want speaking about, is the public-private partnership. Public-private partnership is always coupled with something called patient advocacy. And when we speak about patient advocacy, it's also something new that all pharmaceutical industries are looking for, is to serve the patient. At the end of the day, we are the industry that we are selling a product, right? And this product might go to institutions, might go to government, might go to hospitals, might go to but the end user is the patient. Now, what we have realized in the pharmaceutical industry, that we have engaged a lot with our doctors, we have engaged a lot with the government, we have engaged a lot with the policymakers, we engaged a lot with everybody, but we did not engage a lot with the patient in order to know the patient journey and to ask them, what do you really need when you are receiving this treatment? What are your burdens when you're receiving your treatment? And not only the patient, it's actually also the family of the patient, because when you have a cancer patient, not only the patient is impacted by this, but the whole family is impacted by this. And here it comes the new ways of working of pharmacists by having something called a patient advocacy. So Madre, please, the next slide. So patient advocacy is the future of the pharmaceutical industry. We need nowadays to work with the patient, not to work for the patient. And why with, not for, is with because we need to understand the patient. We need to understand their journey when they are receiving their treatment. We need to make sure that we have the right advocates in place to support the patient. the right associations that will support the patient. Nowadays, you can see, for example, some websites or some pages on social media platforms like Together for Tomorrow. This is something that we have invented in MSD, and this is a patient portal for all the patients who are receiving a cancer treatment, so they can speak to each other and they can share the experiences, and to make sure that, you know, all the patients are aligned when it comes to their treatment and they are receiving the same way. Not only this, because this is a, you know, a multi-stakeholders direction when it comes to patient advocacy. So it's not only speaking to the patient, but also speaking to the regulators. And when we mean here regulators, we mean the Ministry of Health that is providing the guidelines for registration of the product, and also to provide, you know, the product to the patient. Sometimes, for example, we receive a novel treatment that is approved only by the US FDA, but it needs sometimes to come here to our countries and to be approved here. But there will be always a way to bring the medication ahead of time before the regulators approving the medication. And in this way, we call it named patient supply. And that's why we need to make sure that we are very close to our patient to understand what they want. We are understanding what the physician is prescribing to this patient, and to make sure that we are, you know, bringing the medication to the patients with the regulators and the policymakers. So why everything is changing when it comes to the patient? Is the patient of today is different than the patient of, you know, 20 years back? I can tell you a flat yes. Why they are changing? The patient now is being more educated. The patient now is being very vocal. And when I say vocal, this means that they speak a lot and they are loud enough to say their new stuff and to share their experience. And before going to the doctor, nowadays, you will see the patient doing their homework and reading about the diagnosis of anything and the treatment of anything, and they go to the doctor in a format of a dialogue to speak to them about, you know, their illness, but at the same time, they will show the doctor that they know. So having said that, and the patient being in place, speaking, knowing and speaking loudly about the medication, led us to have patient advocacy and to speak to the patient. Definitely from the corporate sector, we will not go and speak to the patient directly. There will be an entity, it's going to be the liaison that will be speaking to the patient, you know, and they are in between. Please, next slide, Madri, if we can go. Okay, this is about the vocal to the patient of the vocal. The patient is the patient association. And I will take you through an example here in the GCC. How many patient associations do we have? We have several patient associations when it comes to cancer treatment. And all of these patient associations are working tirelessly in order to provide the support to the patient, to the less fortunate patient, to the patient who cannot afford this medication, and to provide them with the medication. How they're doing that is by collaborating with the private sector, the corporate companies, the pharmaceutical companies such as us, in order to provide them with that. Please click next slide so everybody will see how many patient associations do we have. It's really impressive what we have here in the GCC. We have done more than 30 patient associations that they are taking care of all the patients across the GCC, and they are providing treatment not only for the GCC nationals, but for all other nationalities, all that are resident in the GCC. And this is the model that we would like to always see when it comes to the ecosystem of the pharmaceutical industry and the public-private partnership. I will take you through one example, which is the Friend of Cancer Patient of the UAE, because today the team is doing, my team is doing a great job back in Dubai, and they are, you know, doing the Pink Caravan. Next, please, Madre. Pink Caravan is an initiative for breast cancer awareness. As you guys know, that October is the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And this year, MSD sponsored the Pink Caravan. It's the caravan, it's van, which is the big car that will go across, you know, the UAE, and every woman is welcome to go and to have a mammogram inside this caravan and to have an echo inside this caravan in order to check herself and to be free from any suspicious, cancer or any lumps or anything like that. So this is also an open invitation for, if you know anyone, if you have a friend, if you have your mom, your sister, your cousin who are above 40, the pink caravan is moving and navigating around Dubai, and it's for free, and you will see the stops. This is sponsored by MSD, and this is one of our pride and one of the public-private partnership that we do is for the breast cancer awareness. And I'll take you also through another example that this year we have highlighted enlightening Burj Khalifa for the biggest breast awareness campaign in the world, when we had 3 minutes video speaking about a journey of a patient with breast cancer, in order to make sure that we are having the noise and the voice of the patient and speaking about the patient journey and embracing the patient and supporting the patient when it comes to their journey. So Burj Khalifa was enlightened by MSD logo, was enlightened by the video. Also, I can send you the link of the video. You can watch all of these things on our website or on LinkedIn, MSD GCC, or any other social media channels. And this is one of the examples of the public-private partnership and patient advocacy. I hope it was not so much complicated for you guys. I know it's something new. It's something that is unusual, but I wanted to open a new horizon for all of you about the public-private partnership and patient advocacy and what a pharmacist can do and how they can do miracles in order to support and provide an excellent medication to the patient. By this, I will end my presentation. That was Burj Khalifa Enlightened with our logo. And you can follow us, MSD GCC, on all social media accounts. You can follow me as well. And I'm more than happy to engage with all of you. And if you have any questions later, I will take it. Thank you so much, Mona.
Thank you, Samia. This was very impressive and nice. I think a lot of pharmacists do not know that there is such role in the companies that they can do. I'm so proud of you having all these activities happening around. I know that you are in Paris and you got this call. Thank you again for supporting, and you are on vacation with your family. But sometimes you need to do, I'm doing it from Oman, from my hotel room as well. So
yeah, it's always the case, and the digital world is an enabler right now, and it's providing us with a solution to engage with everybody. And thanks God we have adapted during the COVID-19 to engage with everyone, and I'm happy that I have shared something new, and I'm also, Mona, looking forward for next year to be face to face, inshallah.
Yes, inshallah. We will be next year, we will be on site, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, and I'm happy to take any questions. Mona, you can direct them to me. You can link me them to anybody.
We have a question. Can we share the pink caravan links?
Yes.
Or where they can? So if you can share it with Madre, she will add it tomorrow or send it in the link. We'll see.
Yeah, everybody is welcome. Again, we are, emphasizing on all the women who are above 40 to go and to check and to have, their physical test or a mammogram or echo to make sure that they are on track and they are healthy. We are promoting now the well-being. So this is something really important. And I know that all the millennials are with us on the call. So you guys stop the Instagram and go to mammogram. So this is something that is the slogan that we have.
I like that.
That we have. Yes, and I'll share all the links and it will be accessible to you guys, and everyone is welcome.
Thank you very much, Samia, and thank you again for coming all the way for us from Paris.
I'm privileged, Mona. I'm so proud to be always with you, and I hope it was, a new thing and inspiring.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Habibti. Bye.